By fate or by design, all agree that Jesus came to Jerusalem at a dangerous time.
It was the season of Passover, which was a very politically sensitive period in the religious year. For the Romans, this is an event that commemorates the Jewish freedom from oppression. And you can see why they would be worried that all of these pilgrims to the city would then want to spark a rebellion.
If the city was crawling with Roman soldiers determined to keep order, then why didn't they act on Jesus' conspicuous triumphal entry?
If Jesus had ridden into town and the multitudes came out and declared he was the coming king, in other words, he was the one who was going to overthrow the Romans, he would have been arrested on the spot. How do we explain that he spent 7 days unmolested in Jerusalem? The triumphal entry could not have happened the way it's narrated. Obviously, Jesus did come into Jerusalem. Maybe he rode on a donkey. Probably a lot of people rode in on donkeys. But if it happened, it would have had to have happened on a very small scale.
Any excitement triggered by the arrival of Jesus could have been lost amid the crowds flooding into the city for Passover. And they were all heading in one direction: the temple.
Judaism is unique in the ancient world in being centered on a single temple, the temple at Jerusalem. And so there would have been thousands of families in what is still quite a small city.
The Western Wall is thought to be the closest physical position to the original site of the inner temple that is accessible to Jewish worshippers. The actual building itself was destroyed by the Romans 40 years after Jesus' death. But at the Israel Museum, archaeologists have built a model of the temple in remarkable detail. It is based on the most accurate archaeological research and shows the temple's grandeur and dominating position at the heart of Jerusalem. The temple was the site of an angry outburst from Jesus that would seem impossible to ignore in a city on edge.
Jerusalem! The faithful city! She that was full of justice has become a harlot!
This scene is known as the cleansing of the temple and is recorded in all 4 of the Gospels. What made Jesus lose his temper at Judaism's holiest site? The temple was more than a place of worship. It also played a key role in the city's economy. During the festival, people had to convert their money into the local temple currency to buy sacrificial lambs for the Passover rituals.
The money changers were responsible for changing Roman currency, which was viewed as idolatrous, into temple currency. And when they did that, they often added hefty fees or exchange rates.
Stop him! Have you not heard?
Jesus becomes upset and overturns the tables of the money changers, drives out the people who are selling the animals, and declares that this is to be a house of prayer for all the nations, but you have made it a den of thieves.
Had Roman troops witnessed an outburst like this at such a politically sensitive time, Jesus would have been arrested on the spot. But Romans were not allowed into the temple. That didn't mean he went unnoticed.
We shall continue to watch his mission with great interest.
Jesus is becoming a serious threat to the Jewish religious and political establishment. They will soon have to take action to stop this troublemaker once and for all.